Hey sis. So today I want to take some time to talk to you about domestic violence. I want to talk to you specifically about two types of abuse. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos lately, you may have heard me talk about the fact that I experienced two abusive relationships for a course of 21 years. And I experienced several different types of abuse. I experienced physical abuse, emotional, psychological, verbal abuse. And so I wanted to take some time to talk to you specifically about the psychological and emotional abuse. And the reason I want to talk to you about these two particular types of abuse is because I had a conversation a few days ago with one of my friends, and the individual had talked about being in an abusive relationship and how they were not, didn't feel like it was really abuse because it wasn't physical abuse. And, we talked a few we talked a little bit longer, and as she was talking, I realized that, there may have been some psychological abuse, and she did eventually say that it was psychological abuse. But the reason I really wanted to talk with you about this is because there are many women out there that don't really think that they are in an abusive relationship or feel that they're in an abusive relationship because it's not physical. And there's many people that just believe there's only one type of abuse, and that is physical abuse. But I want to let you know there's several different types of abuse, way beyond physical abuse. Now, physical abuse is where it's known because we see the bruises, but the psychological and the emotional or verbal abuse, those types of abuse, they tend to last for years. And so I wanted to just talk about or give some examples of these types of abuse so that we really understand what it is. And so psychological abuse, it is often characterized as intimidation, threats of harm, and isolation. Some examples include instilling fear in an intimate partner through threatening behavior such as damaging property or abusing pets, constant supervision, controlling what the victim does and who they talk to. Spiritual abuse may also be included under the psychological abuse, and it involves the misuse of spiritual or religious beliefs to manipulate or exert that power and that control over the intimate partner. That's psychological abuse. Now, emotional abuse, it involves undermining an individual's sense of self-worth. Some examples of emotional abuse include constant criticism, name-calling, embarrassing, mocking, humiliating, or treating like a servant. And so those are some serious forms of abuse, again, that there may be a lot of women that are in an abusive relationship experiencing the psychological and the emotional abuse that may not realize they are in an abusive relationship. And I want to let you know that if that is you, then it is serious, because the psychological and the emotional abuse, those forms of abuse, they tend to last for years, like I mentioned earlier. And so they are just as deadly as the physical abuse, which could lead to death. And there's many women that have lost their lives over, a lot of these forms of abuse, the psychological, even the emotional, there's a lot of women that are dying each day, each year, as a result of being in abusive relationships. So I wanted to point that out, and just in case there is someone out there that is experiencing these types of abuse, I want to let you know that these types are serious, and there is help out there for you. Like I mentioned earlier, I experienced these types of abuse, and it has taken me years to get to the place where I have built my self-worth. I love myself. And now what I'm doing is trying to, because I feel obligated to help other women that may have experienced abuse and may still have problems with really understanding how worthy and how valuable you are. So, and that's what I do now. I'm a self-love coach. And I love empowering women and helping women really understand that you are worthy, that you are not created to be a punching bag for anybody. And there's help out there. You may know that I've written a book. This is the book, my first book, and it details the things that I've experienced in the 2 abusive relationship. If you're interested in that, I'm going to leave my information at the end of the video. But if you need help, I do want to leave the National Domestic Violence Hotline number for you if you need help. That number is 800-799-7233. Again, 800-799-7233. So I hope this was helpful for you. And again, if you need help is out there for you. I know that it's not an easy thing to do whenever you're wanting to walk away from an abusive relationship, but I want you to also to know, again, that you are valuable and you deserve the very best that life has to offer. So I hope you have the most amazing day.